Whatever rocks your socks, whatever spins your top, whatever winds your watch, whatever flips your flop, whatever turns you on, whatever flies your flag, whatever bangs your gong, or whatever swings your bag. Do it often, but do it well, 'cause nobody knows and there's no way to tell when the ride ends.
Hey, welcome back to Not Turtle Beach. How was your week? Yeah, I left the tooth in the hotel room. I'm in Phang Nga. I came to get my driver's license and my 90-day report. It turns out I'm a month early for my 90-day report. And no matter how well I prepared beforehand, they were not going to give me a driver's license. So I had to sign up for a driving school for 3,500 baht, a 20-year-old woman who's going to teach me how to drive. I've been driving for 50 years, more than twice as long as she's been alive, but she was a sweetheart and they signed me up, 3,500 baht. I'll get it done on Saturday. It means I have to stay in Phang Nga a few extra days. So I'm going to do that YouTube thing. I'm going to go around to the local sites and somehow make them all about me. Why don't I have more subscribers, right? It's been a hell of a week. I've been a Phang this week. I've been eating steak and sleeping in air conditioning. Before I left home for about 5 nights, because it's been so hot. I just broke down. I turned on the air conditioner for the first time in about a year. And for 4 or 5 nights, I slept in air conditioning, and it was lovely. I got real good sleep, but I woke up every morning with a sore throat, which went away during the day. But the next morning, I'd wake up with a sore throat the next morning. But you know what? For those 4 or 5 days, my eustachian tube didn't go click. It wasn't painful. I had no trouble speaking or hearing. I don't know what, I don't remember going back to at least 2007. I don't remember going 5 nights, 5 days without this eustachian tube crapping out on me. So I don't know what the connection is, but it's been 2 more nights in Phang Nga in air conditioning, and everything's hunky-dory. It's been almost a week now, 6 days, with no eustachian tube trouble. Being a Phang agrees with me, and I'm eating steak just because I found a place that serves steak in Phang Nga. So yeah, I had a steak. This week also I had a visit from a guy named Tony who vlogs on a channel called Bad Badger in Thailand. Really nice guy. I had said some things on his channel in the comment section. I go out every now and then and search for Thai Muang to see who else is shooting my little village, my little corner of the world, my Turtle Beach. Who's saying shit about my home? And I found a recent video, last couple of years, I think anyway, by Tony, and he got some things wrong. His pronunciation was not perfect, so of course I said so, not knowing that like a year ago I had said virtually the same thing, I think, on the, you know, I forgot I had seen the video, I forgot I had commented on the video. He's in Phang Nga, so he came over and introduced himself, and we hung out, we had coffee, and we talked for a good long time. And he's a hell of a nice guy. And if he ever makes a video about Thai Muang, again, I hope he will come to me and now he has a friend in Thai Muang, and I can show him around. If he doesn't, he gets stuff wrong, I will still point it out. And I count on Tony to look at my videos and point out shit I get wrong, and comment and like, subscribe, and share, and everything else, right? So I've done that. I don't go out, I don't go to these vloggers' meets. I don't meet a lot of other vloggers. Off the top of my head, Tim Newton's the only other vlogger, I think, Thailand-based vlogger, I think that I've met. And on that subject, I want to thank Chris at Retired Working For You. He put a list of the documents you will need to go in and apply for your driving license, and I took those documents, I followed his list, and everybody was very impressed. They were impressed at the Office of Land Transport, and they were impressed at the driving school they sent me to get the thing done, but I had all the documents I needed. So thank you, Chris, for that. The instructions on which BTS station to get out at, I had no use for, but I'm sure somebody will. It's a useful, well-produced video. I encourage you, if you're looking for a Thai driver's license, go check it out. Come on. Mai pen lai. I just gestured with my fingers up, didn't I? That's no good. Hello. Hello. Meeting friends in church. And a dog. Well, it's a temple. Of course, there's going to be dogs everywhere, aren't there? Somebody said I was a hypocrite for promoting Turtle Beach and then complaining when Phang tourists come to Turtle Beach. No, not quite. I don't promote Turtle Beach. I say how happy I am on Turtle Beach. And I also say, you won't be. You don't have a big styrofoam turtle. You won't have anything to do. The few Phang who live on Turtle Beach complain all the time about there's jack to do. So I don't promote it. I think you'd be batshit crazy to come live on Turtle Beach. It's perfect for me. Is there a correlation? Do we connect those two dots? I don't know. Up to you. I don't think I'm going to do that one. I was thinking about luck. I crapped out at the DMV, at the Department of Motor Vehicles, the Department of Land Transport. But they sent me to this driving school. I suppose somebody's got a brother-in-law who works there or something, I don't know. But that turned out to be a real cool visit, and they gave me my motorcycle test. I'm just going for the motorcycle. I hope never to drive a four-wheel drive vehicle again, as long as I live. I used to spend 3 hours a day, every weekday, driving from Las Cruces to El Paso and back. You've probably heard this before. 3 hours a day driving through a blasted, empty, two-dimensional landscape. And I don't ever want to drive a car again, particularly not here. I don't ever want to drive outside of Phang Nga province if I can help it. But at any rate, so they sent me over to this place, and I took the driving test on the motorcycle. You chase a woman on a motorcycle around this course, and you try not to knock over the pylons, and I did pretty well, I think, and it was fun. Tooling around going, you had to keep up with her. You had to go at the speed she was going. And past that part, I'll come back on Saturday and do the class work, which I suppose is watching a few videos. And then on Tuesday, they'll take me to get my picture, and that's it. Bada bing, bada boom. And I met these two women, one of whom said, you Tai Tale, Temai, you Tai Tale, you live on the beach. And I said, yeah. She said, you have all kinds of stuff, sing-kong, stuff in front of your house. I said, yeah. She said, yeah, I know your house. All the way over here in Phang Nga. This is like an hour, 45 minutes, an hour away from Turtle Beach. And my fame precedes me. But I have a feeling, rather than fight my way through the process by myself at the Department of Land Transport, not being able to do it, not being able to even start the process. They told me I could try to set an appointment, get online, scan this thing, get online. Of course, Steve, I spent, 20 minutes trying to do that. Couldn't do it. Could not register on the site in order to book a time to come take the tests at the Department of Land Transport. So, but instead I got to see the southern, it's about 7 kilometers out into the hinterlands to find that driving school, and met these two young women, and I'm going back Saturday, and now I sort of have friends in Phang Nga, and we'll see what comes of that. But I was thinking about luck. And Bill Van Horn, I mentioned him last week. He was the only roommate, I guess, other than my children or my mother, who I was ever successful living with, certainly not my ex-wife. But Bill was an architect. He had just got out of college, and he was working on the renovation of Radio City Music Hall. This would have been 84, 85. And I put this, I got my first rent-controlled apartment in New York City. And I needed a roommate. I couldn't afford the rent by myself. I needed a roommate. So I put an ad in the Village Voice. And the ad hit the streets, say, 6 a.m. on Tuesday. And I came home from work, and my answering machine that had a half-hour cassette tape in it was full. And the last message was at 06:30 in the morning. So that phone started ringing at 6 a.m. People were grabbing that paper off the newsstands. How you doing? And calling immediately for this place. And so I called 20 people back, and I made 20 appointments for the weekend. And I sat in that place, and people came every half hour, every 20 minutes, half hour, introduced themselves. I asked them to bring a CV, a curriculum vitae, and they gave me that, and we talked about this and that. A lot of people in the arts, you know, people who read the Village Voice. And I got to say, Namo Tassa before I leave. I can't just use this place as a set and then leave. I got to make a little merit, tambun a little bit. Anyway, so all these people came on that. It's like a Saturday. All these people coming and going, coming and going, coming and going. The faces blended together, the names blended together, the CVs were in a big pile. I wasn't even reading them by the end of the day. I was exhausted. I was sick of meeting people, and the sun went down, and I realized it was a brand new apartment. I just got the key. I had never been in there at night. There were no light bulbs in the ceiling fixtures. There was no light. There was no source of light in this apartment. I still had one more appointment. And there was a little light coming in the front windows from the street lights. And I had 2 folding metal chairs in the apartment. That's all I had. And this guy comes to the door, knock, knock, knock. I open the door. It's pitch black. There's a light in the hall behind him, so I can see him in silhouette. I can't see his face. He says, "Hi, I'm Bill Van Horn. I got an appointment." I said, "Yeah, come on in, come on in." So he comes in. We sit near the windows, and I can sort of see his face a little bit like this in profile, but all of this is pitch black. And I'm just exhausted. I can't go through another half hour of making small talk. And I said, "Dude, if you want the apartment, give me 2 months rent right now, and I'll give you the key if you want, you know, to be my roommate." He said, yeah, I do, sure I do. And he gave me the rent, and I gave him a key, and we lived together for 2 years. And I had no idea who the guy was. I had interviewed 20 people, and over the course of the day, I had no idea who this guy was. Turned out he was a real nice guy. And we lived together for 2 years, and it was great. Like I said, he was never home. He had a very active social life, and I had just bought a VCR, and I could watch any movie I wanted whenever I wanted it. So I didn't leave the house for years except to go to work. And yeah, so sometimes, you know, ships that pass in the night, you get lucky. You want a joke? There's no turtle behind me, but it's got a religious theme. So after Quasimodo dies, there's a job opening for a bell ringer at Notre Dame, right? So the cardinal, he puts an ad in the Village Voice, and he makes 20 appointments the next day. And these guys are coming, and this guy comes, and he's got no arms. And the cardinal says, "How are you going to ring the bells with no arms?" And the guy says, "Just watch me." And he starts running face first into these bells. Bong, 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 bong. And he's kind of staggering around a little bit. And the cardinal says, that's amazing. I've never seen anything like that. You got the job." But just at that moment, the armless man stumbles through a window and falls to his death, all the way from the canonile, all the way down to the street. And the cardinal rushes down there, and he's standing over the body giving last rites. And a novitiate runs up, and he says, "Who was it? Who was it?" Cardinal says, "I have no idea, but his face rings a bell." So the next day, 20 more interviews. This guy comes in and says, I'm the brother of the guy who fell off the canonile yesterday, and I want to apply for the job." And the cardinal says, "Well, can you ring the bells?" And he says, "Yeah." So he gets up there, and he gets the rope, and he starts ringing the bells. Bong, 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 bong. Beautiful music. Cardinal says, "Okay, great. You got your brother's job." The guy jumps up and down and goes, "Yee-haw!" Falls out the same window. His brother fell out, and he falls to his death. And the cardinal rushes down there, and he's given last rites. And the same novitiate comes up and says, "Who was this?" Cardinal says, "I have no idea, but he's a dead ringer for his brother." Sa-tu, sa-tu, sa-tu. And the double click of the lock closing sounds to my ears like amen. All right, that's enough. Thank you for your attention. Like, subscribe, and share. And I will see you back here in 7 days. Take good care of yourselves. So like the sign says, this is You Cafe. And this is my steak. I remembered to shoot it before I ate it this time, but what I want to show you is the outside. Now I would consider Phang Nga the boonies. Typically, if you want lunch in Phang Nga, you're going to eat guitiao. They're famous for their guitiao here. But in all the boonies, you can find little places with a little Western influence. It's about 100 degrees out there on the road right now. It's a cool 80 in here under these palms. I have not seen one mosquito. I don't see any standing water on the property at all. Big parking area off the road. Lot of sunlight. I sat out here while I was waiting for my food, and I had a cigarette, and I wrote in my book. And check this out. This is the toilet. It's a democratic toilet, open to all, regardless of gender or political persuasion. Look at all the personal little touches, man. There is a personality behind this. It is unique. It is of a type, but it is unique. It is itself. And it's clean. Jeez. I mean, cement floor. For a cement floor in a bathroom in Thailand, a public bathroom, that is spotless. There are newspapers in bundles. I suppose that's if you run out of toilet paper. And I don't know what this is. Oh, it's an old basin. Anyway, thought and effort have been put into this. Not enough effort, but it's quirky. I like it. You Cafe. Phang Nga. Something other than guitiao for lunch. I'm gonna go eat. Some days the universe conspires with itself to remind me that my little handfuls of bottle caps and cigarette lighters don't really mean shit. I would love to pull this above the tree line and cut off all those net floats, but things got to weigh 1,000 pounds. Happily, trash that big is an aberration. Certainly this time of year, the beach is still pretty clean, and I thank God for that.
Whatever shaves your sheep, whatever bakes your lamb, whatever digs your peak, whatever smokes your ham, whatever blows your nose, whatever chews your bone, whatever squirts your hose, whatever sings your song. Do it often, but do it well. Nobody knows and there's no way to tell. When you're riding, shoot down to that